Hi, hello. This is Anup here, and in this video, what we are going to see is Microsoft Intune. What is Microsoft Intune? I'm going to explain it from two or three perspectives. First perspective is from end user side. Okay, if you see Microsoft Intune related application in your mobile or on your Windows devices, Mac devices, what does that mean? And on the second perspective, I'm going to explain what is Microsoft Intune from an admin perspective, or from a IT pro perspective, or from an IT person perspective, right? What is the client side of it? What is the server side of it? Etc. etc. So let's dig into it. So here we go. What is Microsoft Intune? As I mentioned, end user versus admin perspective, client versus server perspective. So if you are end user, if you are using a mobile device, Android mobile or iOS mobile, if you are using a Windows device, or if you are using a Mac or any other type of device platform, and you see Microsoft Intune, some kind of weird application in your device, and you are wondering what is it. So you don't have to worry about it, first thing, because it is a legitimate application. It is there to help you to access your corporate email, chat, something like Teams, Microsoft Teams, or some corporate applications, something like your business application, or something related to your enterprise, right? So even though you are using a personal mobile device, but you have Microsoft Intune installed on it, that means your organization is supporting accessing email, Microsoft Teams, or some intranet application from your mobile device with the help of Microsoft Intune. So Microsoft Intune is there to provide secured access to your enterprise application. So that's why I mentioned this is an advantage for you if you are using a personal device and you have email access, office email access on that. So you don't have to worry about Microsoft Intune. So that is the end user perspective. For the end user, Microsoft Intune Company Portal is the main application which you would be able to see in Android devices, probably iOS devices. That helps users to search, browse, and install application made available to them by the company. So let's move on. This is a graphical representation what Microsoft Intune can do. This is basically from a IT admin perspective as well. So you can do the self-service as mentioned in the previous slide. Install application from company portal if you are an end user. If you want Microsoft Teams installed to chat with your office colleagues, yes, you can do that using the self-service portal or company portal, Intune Company Portal, right? And then reporting data and data, these are basically admin perspective. Application deployment, updates, protection. You can protect the identities. Admins can protect, or your corporate can protect identities. The office IT team can look into your device complaints. Okay, is there any problem with your device? If your device is not complying with the company policies, then probably for the temporary purpose or temporary time or a slight amount of time, they will kind of restrict the access to your email, Teams, etc. etc. And then some of the scenarios where Office IT admin can take remote of your mobile devices, or maybe your Windows devices, or Linux devices maybe, to help you using Microsoft Intune features. And from an admin perspective, this Intune provides web admin console. You don't need to install MMC console or some particular Win32 application console, etc. So this is native console in a modern browser technology. And Microsoft Intune can integrate with the on-prem device management solutions like Configuration Manager, aka SCCM, and Intune is already integrated with Windows Autopilot services, Microsoft Defender for endpoint solutions such as antivirus and all the security solutions related to Defender, right? And Windows Auto Patch. Windows Auto Patch is also integrated with Microsoft Intune. Auto Patch is the automatic patch deployment mechanism that Microsoft provides. Endpoint Analytics is the enhanced reporting options for the admins, and that is also integrated with Microsoft Intune, right? And Intune is part of a big family of Microsoft 365. So various Microsoft 365 services are directly as an out-of-box integrated with Microsoft Intune. Okay, so third-party things. Microsoft Intune can get integrated with Google Play and deploy Google Play apps to your devices, Android devices. Same thing can be done with Apple Store for iOS devices. You can integrate with TeamViewer if you want. And if you are managing mobile devices with Microsoft Intune, you can handle mobile threat defense services as well with Microsoft Intune with a lot of third-party providers. And as I mentioned, this is all very closely integrated with Microsoft Intune. Endpoint, security, zero trust, VPN, and Microsoft Tunnel, etc. For example, if you want to connect to your data center for accessing an application, then you can use the tunnel, per app VPN or Microsoft Tunnel, to have a secured connectivity from your mobile device to your data center to access a business critical application. Let's move on. So we have talked about UEM in the last video, Unified Endpoint Management Tools. If you want to check out that video, I will link that to the description and to this particular video, so you can check it out. So what is Microsoft UEM solution? Microsoft's UEM solution is nothing but Microsoft Intune, right? And Microsoft Intune is a cloud-based UEM solution for device management, security, remote support, privilege management, and lot of other things. And Microsoft Intune supports various device platforms: Windows, iOS, iPadOS, macOS, Chrome OS, Linux, and independent Android operating systems, which are not part of Google services, etc. Simple versus complexity, simple versus complex scenario over here. Are going to discuss this. Okay, if you look at the agent side of it, from a Windows perspective, it is pretty simple. And if you look at the infrastructure side, where as a customer we don't have to do anything because Microsoft is managing Intune infrastructure end to end. But if you look at the architecture of Intune infrastructure in the cloud, which we don't have to worry as an end user or end customer, or as an enterprise, we don't need to worry about it because Microsoft is managing. But the entire infrastructure, the global scale of the infrastructure is very complex. From an admin perspective, it is simple because it's a SaaS solution, and from a admin console perspective, it is pretty user friendly with the modern web things. So these are simple things, and these are there are some complex things. And integration with different solutions within Microsoft and outside Microsoft can also get sometimes complex. And there's a learning curve for admins about Microsoft Intune. So these can get complex sometimes. Let's move on. There is another perspective for Microsoft Intune. So Microsoft Intune is a product umbrella. Until now, we were talking about Microsoft Intune device management solution, SaaS solution, agent side of it, server side of it, admin side of it, etc., etc. Now we just change the gear and then just look at the product perspective, how Microsoft is providing Intune services, how they have packaged it under one particular product umbrella. Microsoft Intune is part of Microsoft 365 solutions, okay, and Microsoft Intune has different products inside it. As you can see over here, Microsoft Intune product family, and that includes Microsoft Intune, Microsoft Configuration Manager, that is nothing but aka SCCM, on-prem device management solution, which we used or still using for more than 25 years maybe. Microsoft Intune suite for advanced solutions. Okay, it has a lot of components, like additional components like remote help, tunnel, Microsoft Intune, endpoint privilege management solutions, etc. So Microsoft Intune is a product family now. Now let's go into some more details in terms of license. I am not expert in license, so this is just to give you an overview. Microsoft Intune as product family, and configuration manager is also part of that license. But if you want to have remote help, if you want to have tunnel for mobile application management, endpoint privilege management, advanced endpoint analytics, and lot of new features are yet to come. All these are additional features and additional licenses on top of Microsoft Intune license. These are additional purchases of Microsoft Intune. So that is why I mentioned Intune as a product family, Microsoft Intune is a product family, and inside that there is a Intune technical solution, SaaS solution, device management solution, agent side, server side, everything we talked about. And then architecture. We will see architecture of Intune in later part of this video series. Maybe in the next video we would explain what is Microsoft Intune architecture, how Microsoft built this architecture, etc., etc. Okay, so we talked about Microsoft Intune. What is Microsoft Intune as a product, group of products, and what does that Microsoft Intune technical solution from end user perspective, from admin perspective, for server infrastructure side perspective, server client perspective. And then we talked about UEM, Intune, integrations of Intune, features of Intune, and then we talked about the licenses, costing, and we talked about from end user perspective what is the advantage of having Intune on their mobiles, etc. Then we had a teaser on the architecture of Intune, how Microsoft did the architecture of Intune. So that's it for this video. We'll see you in the next video with more technical details. Thank you all for watching. See you next time. Until then, take care.